Hey, hello everyone. Am I audible? Perfect. Yeah. So, good morning everyone, and thank you so much for joining in. Without wasting a lot of time, let's get started in this quick conversation. I would also like to quickly introduce myself. Let me share my screen and let me know once you see my screen as well. Yeah, friends. So, I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Bharani Kumar Dekuru. I'm CEO and founder of two companies. One is AiSPRY and another is 360DigiTMG. And I'm chairperson for AI framework implementation with ITS India, right? Intelligent Transportation System. I have 20 plus years of experience. I hold double master's degree from IIT and ISB. I work with companies such as HSBC, ITC Infotech, Infosys, and Deloitte. And then I'm also a visiting faculty at Indian School of Business. I've been teaching there since 6.7 years, over 6.5 years, right? So that's in short about my profile. And we have two companies. One is called as AiSPRY, which predominantly works in the space of AI projects, right? AI services is what we offer. And I'll quickly walk you through these also, right? And then we have another company called 360DigiTMG, which is into edtech service, right? We deliver trainings in the space of AI, Gen AI, and agentic AI. So here we go. These are different research articles, international research articles, which we have published on international journals. And there are 5 projects that we have done for different customers, the details of which got published onto London Business School Journal, and it is being used to train the students at LBS. So if you see here carefully, we have AI Spry, an AI services company, and 360 Digit MG. Let me highlight that, which is Data Science Training Institute. Right? So in collaboration with AiSPRY and 360, we have given these 5 case studies and then it's being used in the International B School. Okay, this is our company intro. I'll just, um, you know, skip that part. We have a lot of customers for whom we do projects, including the likes of Hindustan Coca-Cola, Korean Airlines, Yatra, Volvo Trucks. All these are a few of our customers for whom we do AI projects. Amazon is one of our clients. And when people purchase, iPhone, etc., an item of high value, uh, a few people, they open the seal, they replace the original phone with the duplicate phone, and then they return it to Amazon saying that, hey, I don't like this phone. And at the return center, Amazon should not open the box to check whether it is original or duplicate phone, because if they open the box, warranty will be null and void. So what should happen then? What we are doing is we are putting that phone through the X-ray machine, and this X-ray machine will capture. One second, let me also ensure that we record this for our future consumption, right? Internal, we will not share any recorded videos with you. Okay, so by looking at this circuit, we can figure out whether a phone is original or duplicate by looking at the internal circuit. And also, we firmly believe that for you to understand AI, Gen AI, agentic AI, etc., you should visit the client location. So that is exactly what we have done. We have visited Amazon campus, Surana Group, GBR Hospital, Biologically Limited, Singapore Land Transportation Authority, so on and so forth. Whenever we do any projects, we make it a practice of visiting the client location, and we also take our students, 360DigiTMG students along, so that they also learn the practical implementations. Okay, this is for JSW Steel. This part is called as kiln. Okay? Inside the kiln, the chemical composition happens. Okay, and there is this layer called accretion which forms, which will not allow the heat to pass through. So using image analytics, we need to figure out the accretion being formed. So this is going to help immensely all the companies. Okay. Then there is a specific methodology. Whenever you work on any AI project, there has to be a framework. There has to be set ground rules on how should you progress on the project. And that methodology is extremely important. They'll ask in interviews also on what is the methodology that you're following. How do you go about implementing AI or GenAI or agentic AI solutions? Right? Okay, fine. From 11 to 11:30 or 11:25 or so, I'll explain about all the projects that we accomplished for the for the different customers. Then you will have 1 hour hands-on agentic AI session where our team members would walk you through the agentic AI, solving agentic AI case study end to end using different workflow automation tools. And finally, the next steps, right? Where our heads will talk about what might be the next steps when it comes to your career enhancement. And we also would be distributing the certificates, okay? The physical certificates also and digital certificates also to you guys. And then you can post it on social media and then communicate to the world that yes, you are upskilling yourself. And we do projects in the space of data analytics, business intelligence reports, dashboards, using either Power BI or Tableau or Click or using Python. Right? Once this is done, this is an appreciation from one of the customers. We'll also help you understand, uh, not help you understand. Okay, let me take one step back. Okay. Uh, I'll just walk you through a few other case studies, a few other business problems that can be solved using AI. One is forecasting. And this is a project that we have done for a company called as Super Shakti, which is a West Bengal based steel pipe manufacturing company. They procure coal, iron ore, dolomite, etc. They purchase these kind of raw materials from UK, from countries such as UK, South Africa, etc. Right? And let me do one thing. Yes. Now I'll be able to write something on the screen for natively. If not, I'll just remove that and plug it into some other socket. Yeah. So from UK, from South Africa, from Indonesia, etc., they procure. And how much quantity of coal should they procure? Should they buy? At what price should they buy? These kind of details we forecast. We help the companies move from reactive zone to proactive zone. Okay. Then this is also about forecasting the raw material which is needed for biologically limited company. Then spice forecasting, wooden pallet forecasting, etc. Then we also did projects in the space of machine failure, wherein machines like this is a machine called as Prima 13 from a company called as Schnell Group, which is a German-based company. We get the sensors data from this IoT sensors data like vibration, spindle speed, temperature, etc. And we predict whether a machine will fail or not. And if it is going to fail, when will it fail? That is called as survival analytics. And we build such user interfaces and give it to the customer. And this is what people are expecting in interviews. Right? They expect you to build end-to-end AI solutions. Okay, because a lot of people are using Gen AI to automatically generate the code. So you should not be coding centric. You should be business centric, meaning you should be able to solve the business problems by understanding the business rather than, solving only the technical part of it. Then we also have a lot of object detection problems like solar panel. We fly the drones on top of solar plants and we detect whether solar panels have some physical damage or some kind of electrical damage, or is there any excessive dust or bird drop, etc. We also built solutions in the space of detecting the hazardous substances like flammable and explodable items. In this scrap, which will eventually be put into a burning furnace, which will be at 1800 degrees Celsius, just in case you have cylinders or shock absorbers kind of items which go into this, it will cause a blast, killing the people. So with projects in this space, this is automatic monitoring of the assembling process, where this person is putting the engine chassis and this person will be closing the clamps. So our a solution which is deployed on edge, it is deployed on one of the IoT device. From there, automatically it will monitor and it will say whether the right clamping process is being followed or not. Automatically counting the number of steel rods that exist in an inventory. Right? If you just upload, if you just upload an image of your inventory, then it will automatically tell you what is the total weight of these raw materials. Then construction drawings, poultry, pharmaceutical industry. This is in the space of pharma, where automatically, if you take a photo, how many vials and pre-filled syringes exist in a crate would be detected. See, I'm not from medical background. I'm not from pharma background. I'm not from manufacturing background. So whenever such projects you work on, you have to gain that domain knowledge. For the first 2 days, 3 days, or 1 week, you have to spend time reading research articles, reading some stuff which is available on the internet, then gain that domain knowledge. And only after you gain that domain knowledge can you work on projects. Don't assume that magically this knowledge will come to people. No, no one is born intelligent, right? So what we do is whenever say, for example, some vial crate, which has all these vials is kept under the CCTV. And when a photo is taken, all these details will be saved in the backend database. How many vials are there? How many pre-filled syringes are there, etc. Then we built a bot which is similar to chatbot, where you can just ask questions, even in vernacular language. You can ask any vials मैन्युफैक्चर चेसानो कितने वाइल्स में मैन्युफैक्चर किया था पिछले 6 महीने में. You can ask in Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, any language, and it will convert that into English. That English speech is converted into text, text to SQL, and then you get the results back onto your screen. So such solutions are amazing solutions to deal with. So it's not just object detection, it's also Gen AI, generative AI built into it. Then automatically counting how many, steel rods are there on the truck. And then automatically counting determining the dimension of each of these, steel rods real time. Look at that count, and then it will tell you dimension, count, shape, so on and so forth. So see all of those. Then this is a project that we've done for Siemens, which is a German-based company, right? Siemens, where we automatically scan the parts and the part name, okay, part height, etc. All the details pertaining to the parts will be determined. That's an appreciation from client. Northwestern Railways is one of our clients, where when the wagons, bogies go into the unloading bay or loading bay, where they load coal and other raw material, right? there might be certain damages which might be there already. And if you have such damages, all your raw material will fall on the tracks. Or when it went inside the loading unloading bay, then how much damage was there on the sides also, from the top also. And then we also count how many wagons are there, how many wagons had what kind of damages, and while it came out, how many damages were there. So things of that kind. So Northwestern Railways is also our client. We do projects in the space of clean room where we automatically monitor whether the employees are wearing the safety gear or not, mask, etc. And then we create a compliance report like this. Who are the employees who are actually following the process? Who are the people who are not following? All these are AI solutions which are very much needed. Here, you can automatically detect using the dash cam, which you keep on your car or bike. Using that video, you can determine how many potholes are there, what is the volume of the pothole. Then you can also decide what kind of reusable raw material would be needed to fill those potholes. For example, how much will it cost? All these can be done. And yeah, because this is also the same project. We build projects by taking satellite images also. This is one of our flagship solutions in the space of healthcare. We are the first company in India to get government approval. Any product which is implemented in the space of life sciences healthcare is treated as software as a medical device, and you need approval from the Medical Council of India, etc. And there is something called a CDSCA. That's a government body which has to approve, saying that, okay, your solution is not harmless. It is good. It can be used in the hospitals. We are the first in India. We also got ISO certification for this. And our students, 360 DigiTMG students, worked on these kind of projects. And when they work on these kind of projects, your confidence will go up. When you mention about these kind of projects on your resume, chances of your resume getting shortlisted for further interviews will increase. So please work on real world projects. Nowadays, world is not that serious about coding and all, because GenAI tools is doing coding. So basics of coding, you should know. Whatever GenAI generates, you should be able to read that and understand what that code does. And our AI solution here for this problem will predict whether these microscopic images are good or bad. Okay, this is in the space of IVF, without delving deeper. And this is a product called Garba.ai. I still have 5 more minutes. Yeah, just bear with me. We'll be done. And a lot of GenAI solutions we built. Okay, one of the GenAI solutions is in the space of, again, healthcare, where the patient, if a patient is being moved from one specialty to another, say heart specialty to liver, what is the protocol, treatment protocol that has to be followed? That also is available. If a doctor is discharging you, they write the discharge summary that can be generated here. Post-discharge care instructions can be generated. Yeah, many things can be done. We also did projects for, again, Government of India, Uttarakhand. And here we built a bot. If you have data in your database, and if your CEO or CFO or Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Business Officer, whoever has certain questions, they can ask like this. The way you are asking questions to ChatGPT or Google Gemini, you can ask questions here and you'll instantly get the responses. Okay, perfect. So here are other projects that we are working on, like Pandrol, French railway equipment manufacturing company is one of our clients. We work in the space of cement. We work with Delhi urban local bodies. Like you have municipalities in Delhi, you have urban local bodies, ULBs, right? That they want to, by taking an image, identify whether the waste is segregated or not. Biodegradable versus non-biodegradable waste. We have two different bins. Yeah, Tata Hitachi is one of our clients. We built a project in the space of dermatology where just by taking a photo, you can figure out whether, what kind of skincare treatments have to be provided. Fortuna Entertainment Group, which is a Romanian-based company, and it's the third largest in Europe when it comes to sports betting. Like in India, we have Dream 11, etc. There we have that, right? How much bonus should be given to the players so that they play more, they bet more, right? That was this project. And this company, we signed an MOU with them. And whenever they have job openings, they let us know. And we posted for our 360 students and quite a few of our own AiSPRY employees who are working, AI experts, they got placed in FEG. So such support also we keep providing. All right, these are the different research articles. In each of these research articles, if you see, you will find my name because one owner from the company should, their name should be there. And then the team lead from AiSPRY side or 360 DigiTMG side, that person's name will be there. And the top 3 to top 5 student names will be there. We give opportunity to our students, 360 DigiTMG students, to work on real world projects. And when you publish it on international journals, this international journal will do a research on is it a fake project or original project? Is there originality in the solution? They check all that and then they approve. So when our students go to interviews, this is what they say. They say that, do you know what? I didn't just work on real world project, but here is my international journal certificate where my project details were published. That is more than sufficient to get sufficient confidence, right? For the interviewers that, hey, we are talking with someone who really worked on real world projects. Okay. And these are a few of the customers for whom we have done projects. Here are a few of the awards which we received from different platforms when we worked on projects. Okay. And we are also working with a few of the Chinese companies. While this is only a business deal, okay, don't uh, think about India versus China. Relationships are so sour. Despite that, they are doing projects. No, don't think on those lines. Think from a business standpoint. Even our Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited China, right? Why? To ensure that the relationships are strengthened. Okay. So these are a few of the details that I wanted to talk about. And I would like to now hand it over to the respective leads who are there in different locations. In Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, we have our experts seated. They're going to take, say, maybe 4 or 5 minutes to set the context for you guys. And then they will give you a walkthrough of agentic AI, okay, on how do you automate the manual effort using agentic AI. Sit back, enjoy the journey. And once they are done, probably it will take an hour or so. Once they are done, our heads will talk about the next steps. And then we are going to distribute the certificates. So please be there until unless you are there throughout. A, you'll not learn. B, you'll not get certificate, right? So this certificate that you're going to gain should be of some value to you. Thank you so much and all the best for taking the first step of getting into this field of AI, Gen AI, and agentic AI. Thank you, and over to our team.
Hello, everyone. My name is AiSPRY. I work as an associate data scientist at AiSPRY and 360DigiTMG. So let us go forward with today's topic, that is agentic AI, and we will see one certain use case as well. So before going into the use case, let us just have an idea what is this agentic AI is, right? You guys must be wondering what is this agentic AI is. So let us have an idea on this at the first, okay? In simple terms, not too technical one, okay? So basically, yeah, your agentic AI. Let me change the color. Agentic AI. Now, what does this agentic AI means? That is, it is nothing but a system, a AI system, a AI system, right? Which acts on its own. Now, what do you mean by it acts on its own? That is, it does a certain action or a task on its own. You don't need a manual intervention over here. That is, I don't have to come there and do certain tasks. For example, the use case that we will discuss today, email automation, right? I don't have to type a message and send a certain message or a reply to a message. Okay, I don't have to type it and do it. I will be setting a robot over here which will do this entire task by itself. It will understand what is the task it has to do, what is the message that I received, right? What is the email that I've received? It will understand that. It will generate a reply and then even it will send the reply, right? Is there any way the human came into the picture? No. In the process, no. But to build this, of course, we need humans, right? So that is what we will see it today, right? So before going into the use case, one more, let us discuss few terminologies over here. Okay, there are a few important key points that we need to remember before going into the use case. The first is a agent. First is a agent. Agentic AI. Of course, the name itself has an agent in it. Now, what is this the agent is? Basically, agent is nothing but your robot or a software which does a certain task. Which does a certain task. Okay. Now, next, we have something called as environment. Now, what this could be environment? That is a place where this action will happen. For example, email automation will be your Google account, Gmail account, right? If you have selected Outlook, over there the action will happen. Correct? So the environment is the space where the action will happen. And next, that will be perception. Perception. Now, how the agent will understand that it has to do a certain action, right? So it is nothing but the sense your robot will have, right? So that is nothing but the perception. That is nothing but the perception. The idea what it has, right? Or the knowledge that when it should does the action. That is nothing, we call it as perception. Next, action. Action is the task that it has to do basically. Correct? Ultimately, it has to reply a message. So the replying the message is the task that it has to do. And then goal. Goal is nothing but, even if you're setting a robot over here, you need to set a goal. That is, it has to send a reply. Now, what type of reply? That also you need to mention over there. That anyway, we will see it in our use case. How do you set a goal over there? Or how do you set your target? What kind of reply it should send? Okay. And then comes your policy or the planner. Okay. Basically, in what case it has to reply. It is nothing. It is, see, if at all you get some promotion email, some email where the replying is not necessary, right? So you should have an idea, right? Your robot need to have an idea that each and every mail it doesn't have to reply. There are only certain mails to which it has to reply, right? So that decision is something we will set under the policy. That decision idea we will give under the policy. And next, the memory or the knowledge. Memory or the knowledge, right? That it is, how should it generate a reply? That is with the help of certain GenAI tools, right? Based on that, it has to generate the replies. So that information also we need to give either through the any AI tool, or we can also do one more thing over here. That is, we can give certain documents, right? You can give certain documents and you can ask it to get the answer from only those documents and then reply to the message. That also can be set. Okay. So that is nothing but memory or the knowledge. And then comes the final one is the learning. That is how the agent improves from the previous task what it has done. Okay. Ultimately, day by day, it has to improve itself, right? From the previous use cases or from the previous replies that it has given. So that is done under the learning phase. Now, how this agentic AI is different from your GenAI tool or your regular AI? Let us understand that. Now, what does your regular AI does? That is, when you ask a certain question, right? It will give you a answer, correct? You may ask a question, right? How many seats are there in one certain plane? Okay, flight. Okay, which is a better seat to select in that flight, right? Where you have a good amount of leg space, all those things. But will your regular AI book a ticket for you? No. Will you be able to do it? No. Even your chat GPT, it won't be able to do it, right? But when it comes to your agentic AI, you can set certain agents where you can book the flight tickets as well. Okay. Probably you are a person who travels a lot, who travels on a schedule basis, right? Consider you have to every month, every first of the month, you have to travel to one certain place. Now, instead of booking the flights by yourself, you can set an agent where it will book the flight for the first of each month and it will send you the tickets as well. Okay, you can set your preferences as well over there. Okay, multiple preferences. If one is not there, the next preference should act, right? So those preferences can also be set when it comes to your agentic AI. Now let us go forward and understand more about this. So let us see what are the different characteristics that this agent has when it comes to automating the task. The first is autonomy. That is, AI agents can make decisions and take actions independently. As the one example that I gave, right? Each month you want to book a flight. Each month you don't have to remind your agentic AI. It will understand. It has a memory in itself, right? Where it will does its tasks without any manual intervention. Then, goal oriented. They are designed to achieve specific objectives such as completing tasks or solving problems. Okay, completing task in the sense the same that we discussed earlier, right? And solving problems. Consider there is a customer support agent that you have built, right? The chatbots that you could see in certain websites, right? So even that can be customized over there, where it will go through the different documents that is provided by your company, and then it will take the information from there and provide the solution. Okay. And then adaptive. They can learn from experience and adapt their behavior to changing circumstances. That is, it depends on the data that it is getting or the query the customer is asking. Okay, the query the customer is asking. Probably when it comes to flight booking, right? It has booked one flight. You have given certain preferences, right? After giving certain preferences, it has selected the right side, the side seat. Assume it. Okay. In the flight, it has selected the right side, the seat it has selected. Okay. Let us assume that. And you will be asked for a feedback. Once it books a flight, right? It will be asking for your feedback. Now, if at all you mention that no, I would strictly prefer to left side seat, right? The next time it will make sure that you get a left side seat. So it understands from the your feedback. It learns from your feedback and rectifies itself. That capability also your agentic AI has. Okay. And then intelligent. AI agents can perceive their environment, reason about information, and make informed decisions. Now, when it comes to your regular AI, probably it has given you certain answer. Now, if you ask it, why did it give it, right? There is no answer for that, right? It is hard to interpret from where did it get the answer, why did it give the answer. But when it comes to agentic AI, you can get that reason as well. Why did it do so? Okay, why did it book the right side seat? You can ask for the explanation. That can be given when it comes to agentic AI. Okay, so these are the basic characteristics of agentic AI. Let us go forward. And the benefits of AI agents, that is efficiency. Of course, we will be automating our tasks. There will be less manual intervention. There will be less confusion as well. It knows what it does, what it has to do. Correct? There's no confusion. You have set the condition and it will go through the condition and take the decision. Right? Personalized experience. That is, you can customize as per your requirement. Okay, it won't be the same for each and every person. You can customize as per your interest. Accuracy, as I mentioned, the conditions are mentioned, it will take a straight away decision. There is no confusion there. So accuracy will be more. And then innovation, that is, you can explore a lot in it. Correct? You can try to connect with different applications, different software, and try to extract information from there. All these things can be done. We can explore a lot when it comes to agents, AI agents. Okay, so there are different types of agents as well. The first one is the reactive agents, respond to current stimuli without memory or learning. That is instant. Okay, we will ask it to do one certain thing, it will do it, done. The job is done. There is no holding back the memory, there is no understanding, nothing. It will does a certain job. That's it. Limited memory agents, that is past 1 week information it might keep in its mind. Okay, past 1 week wherever you have traveled, that information it might keep in mind. Okay, or last feedback, past 1 week feedback. Goal oriented agents, that is, it is built only to do one specific task over here, one particular task, and it will do on its own. There's no requirement of intervention. Learning agents continuously learn and improve their performance. That is, it will take a feedback, improve it. Take a feedback, improve it. Okay. Probably you are booking a holiday, vacation, something you are trying to book. Okay. You will ask your agent to book the hotel, flights, everything. You will try to book it. You will ask it to book. Okay. You will not give any preferences over here. Directly, it will book certain vacation for you, holiday package for you. But after going to that place, you might don't feel good about it. You did not feel comfortable while traveling. So all this information, you give it to the agent as a feedback. Okay. Now it will take this feedback, and next time when you ask it to book a vacation or to make a plan, it will keep this information in mind, and then it will try to book the destination and or the travel planner. Okay. So this is something with respect to learning agents. Now let us look into our use case. Let us finally start with this. Okay. So the use case would be that we have to act as a, or the model, the agent what we will build, it need to act as a 10 plus years as a professional in executive support or admin automation. Okay. It need to act in this manner. Okay. It should act as if the robot has experience of 10 plus years as a professional in executive support. Okay. Now, what does the learners will do over here? Automate repetitive admin tasks such as email classification, meeting scheduling, and multi-level confirmation flow. Sometimes it feels very hectic to reply to each and every mail, and somebody consider yourself in a place where you will be booked for the entire day. You're completely, totally busy, right? And you have to schedule meetings and all. Now you don't have time to do it, right? Now this bot will come into the picture where it will schedule a meeting in the requested time automatically. You don't have to do anything here. Okay. So the output will be email organizer, smart scheduler, and auto confirmation pipeline. So this is the final output that you will be getting. Okay. So we will be using n8n, OpenAI, Gmail, and Gemini as well. Okay. Let us get into this. Let us get into hands-on. So now, specifically, we will use a tool called as n8n, n8n.io. So specifically, we will use this certain tool. We can sign into this tool, right? This tool will be, of course, you need to pay for it, but for the first 14 days, it will be available for free. So you can use it, you can explore it on it, right? You can understand how it works in this tool. Now, once you get into this, you can click on Get Started. Okay. You can give certain relevant information over there. That is your full name, and then the email ID, the organization where you work. All this information can be given. And then you can start working on you have to set the password as well. Okay. Once you log in to n8n, this is the interface that you will be getting. So you can log into n8n quickly, n8n.io. Now, when it comes to n8n, what is the speciality of n8n? That is, you can go with no code or low code over here. That is, there is no coding. The great amount of coding is required here. There is a simple drag and drop feature that can be used over here. Okay. And you can use the code as well. That flexibility is given by the n8n. You can easily use a coding to get certain relevant information. We will see that as well today. Okay. Okay. So this is the interface that you will be getting once you log into n8n. So in this interface, you will be able to see a plus symbol within the right next to the logo of n8n. You will be able to see a plus symbol. And to click on it, there is an option to create a workflow, right? So you can select the space where you want to create a workflow. So this is the space I would create my workflow. Okay. So now this interface, we call it as canvas. Now what is canvas? Canvas is something where you draw, right? So this is the same place where we will build our entire workflow. Entire workflow. So the plus symbol that you could see over here, right? So initially, we need to set something called as trigger. We need to set something called as trigger. Now, what is this trigger is? Trigger is an action or a certain point or a button you can consider, right? That when this entire workflow should act or should start working, right? Trigger is that. Okay. So in our case, what could be the trigger? That is, whenever I receive an email, right, the entire workflow should start or should work. Correct? So I'll be selecting over here, right, on app event. That is a certain action. Whenever there is a certain action that happens in an application, that, right, at that point of time, the entire workflow should start. The entire workflow should start. So I'll select over here, that is Gmail. Gmail. And under the Gmail, I'll select something called as on message received, which will be our trigger, right? Whenever I receive a email, the certain entire workflow should start. Now, once you get the Gmail trigger, you need to make your innate and understand which is that email where which is that Gmail where email comes and you should start. So that needs to be set under credential to connect with. So once you click on this credential to connect with, there will be an option called as create new credential, correct? So click on that create new credential. It will ask you to sign in with the Google, right? So click on that. You need to give certain permissions over here. So let me select my account over here, right? And then let me give all the permission, right? Ultimately, it has to fetch the information from the Gmail, correct? Yeah. So it has connected to my account. Now let me close this. Let me close this. Okay, it has built the connection. Let me rename it as well over here. Let me rename it with my name, probably. Okay. And then let me save it. Once this is done, now let me turn off this option called as simplified. I want to extract the raw data. I don't want the very structured data over here. I want to extract the very raw data from the Gmail. Now you could see there is a certain information that is being extracted or fetched from the Gmail. Fetched from the Gmail. You could see there is a certain information. Now just to cross verify this, let me send one email over here. Okay. let me send one email from my another account, from this account to the connected account. Okay, this is not my connected account to n8n. So I'll send one email from this account to the account that is being connected in the yeah. We'll write one email. Subject would be, let me write it as catch up tonight. Okay. Hey, how are you? How are you? It's been a long time. Let's catch up tonight. A very raw and informal message that is, right? Okay. So this is the message that I'll be sending, probably to my friend. Okay. Now my friend's account is connected over here. So let me try to see, am I able to take that email or not? Yes, you could see it has extracted the recent mail, recent email. So this is not the one. Let me fetch it once again. Yeah, you could see, hey, how are you? It's been a long time. Let's catch up tonight. The same message has come in, right? So successfully, I'm able to extract the information from Gmail. So this is done over here. Now, once this is done, the next step that I will be doing is that is classifying these emails. I need to classify my emails into personal, meeting, and I can ignore it. Okay, these three labels I will take it for now. Okay, for example, let us take these three labels. So before you set these three labels, you need to make sure that you have those labels in your Gmail account. Okay, so let me create the labels over here. Over here, you will get an option to create a label. Okay, so let me create a label over here. The label would be personal. The label would be personal. Okay, and the second label would be the meeting. And the third label would be ignore. You can create any other labels as well as per your interest. Okay, yeah, ignore. These three labels are being created over here. Now let me go back to the n8n. Okay, now I will add something called as text classifier. You can just search for text classifier. Okay, text classifier is a certain node where you will be giving your information and asking it to classify the text, personal, meeting, or ignore. Okay, personal, meeting, or ignore. Over here, now I need to provide some input to this text classifier. You could see the left side part, that is the input space. Input space. Okay, you will be getting the output of the previous node, which will act as an input to your current node. Input to your current node. So let me take over here from the Gmail trigger node, I need to take subject. Let us find subject here. Subject. Okay. And then I will also take the text from my Gmail trigger node. Just drag and drop. Okay. The left side, what you could see is, right, that we call it as metadata, the raw data, right? The very raw data along with the certain idea on what data it is. Okay. So from there, we will take subject and the text. Now, why did we take subject and text over here? That is, ultimately, how will I be able to classify my email? By looking into the content of it, correct? So the subject and text will refer me the content of the email. So that is when I have selected subject and text over here. Okay. So once the subject and text is selected, you can just do drag and drop. That's it. Drag the subject, hold the subject, drop it within the text to classify. Hold the subject from the Gmail trigger and drop it in the text to classify under your text to classifier node. So once this is done, right? Once this part is done, our next step would be the categories. Okay? Making your text classifier understand what are the categories. So let me write over here. I have a category called as personal. I have a category called as personal. Now, what information needs to be taken into or what email needs to be classified as a personal? That description I need to give over here. That is, if the email is personal, if the email is personal and is not spam or work related, a very basic idea that I will give to my classifier, that which is that email, it has to classify it as a personal. Okay. So that is the email. If the email is personal and is not spam or work related, it is not spam and work related. I'll add my second category. That would be the meeting, right? That would be the meeting category. So under the meeting category, I'll mention as if the email is about scheduling a meeting, or about the updates, regarding a particular topic, regarding a particular topic, regarding a particular topic. So this is the description that I will be giving under the meeting. And the third one would be the ignore. Third category, ignore. And the description would be if the email is about promotion of service or product, I just want to ignore them. I don't want to respond to those emails. Okay. I just want to put those emails under the ignore category. Clear? Since it is a hands-on session, it is better to do it along with me. Yes, wait. You can do it along with me. I'll just do one certain step and take a pause. You can do it. Which step, Sweta? Did you log into n8n? Okay. Over here in the Gmail, basically, you have to select your account. Okay, create new credential, connect to the Gmail account. It will just ask you to connect to the Gmail account. Okay, and then turn off the simplify option. That's it. There's nothing else that you have to do in the Gmail trigger. Yeah. So the first you have to select Gmail trigger, Satyam. Select Gmail option. The plus button you could see, right? Once you log in, the plus button you could see, right? Click on that and select the workflow and the personal. You will get into the canvas. Okay. Over there in the canvas, right? You could see one plus big symbol over there, right? So you can click on that plus big symbol. Once you click on the big symbol, right? You will get a option like this. What happens next? Or what we need to start with. Over here, you can search for Gmail. Once you search for Gmail, you will get this option. Click on Gmail and you will be able to see one option called as on message received, right? On message received. You can select that on message received. Yeah. Once you select that on message received, you will get this interface. It will be blank, both the sides. Okay. Now you have to set the credential here. Okay. So click on the first credential to connect with. Click on this drop down option. Okay. You will be able to see create a new credential. Right. Click on that. Yes, what they'll come there. Okay. So connect with your account, right? Sign in with the Google, give all the permission and save this credential. Okay. Once you save that credential, that email will be considered over here. Okay. And then no other changes that you have to do. Just turn off the simplify option. By default, it will be turned on. You have to turn off this simplify option. In which step you're getting this error, Sweta? In the Gmail trigger? Yeah. Once you click on this turn off option, you can click on this fetch the test event. Click on this fetch the test event. Now, once you click on this fetch the test event, uh, try to build the connection once again. You may not have given all the permissions over there. That's why you're getting that error. Yeah. So yes, Once you fetch the event, you will be getting the recent event in your right side of the output section, right side or the output section. Okay. Once you get this, the next step would be adding the next node. You can click on the plus button after the Gmail trigger. You can add the next node, that is a text classifier. A text classifier. You can search for text classifier. You can select the text classifier and you can add that node. So once you select that text classifier, you will be getting this particular pop-up where you need to give certain information. Now, the Gmail trigger, output of the Gmail trigger will act as an input to your text classifier, right? So, the text is taken from the Gmail trigger output. Along with that, subject is also considered. You can just drag and drop under the text to classify. That's it. Drag and drop it. Both subject and the text. Subject and text, you can please drag and drop it. Okay. And then before defining the categories over here, you need to go to your Gmail account, right? Go to your Gmail account and create these labels. Plus symbol you could see, right? Create these labels. Once you create these labels, where is the issue, Satyam? Yeah, once you create these labels, you will be giving the same category information over here. That is the same label, the personal, and a detailed description. That is, if the email is personal and is not spam or work related, then it will fall under the category personal. If the email is about scheduling a meeting or about the update regarding a particular topic, then we will categorize it as a meeting. Now, if the email is about promotion of a service or a product, then we will categorize it as a ignore. Okay, ignore. So once I get this information, now, even though if I try to execute it, you will get an error here. Now, why this error appears is because text classifier is a node which just classifies it. I mean, it doesn't understand the data yet. Now we need to add a brain to this text classifier. It doesn't have a brain yet. Okay. It doesn't have that knowledge to understand the email and classify it. Now I'll add a brain to it. The brain would be your Gemini model, right? Your Google Gemini model. You can take your OpenAI model as well, right? Now let us see with the Google Gemini chat model here. So let me take this Google Gemini chat model, right? Let me take this Google Gemini chat model. Once I access this Google Gemini chat model, I need to set certain credential over here. Now, how to get this credential? That is, go to your browser and search for Google AI Studio. Google AI Studio. right? Google AI Studio. From here, I can get my API key to access the Gemini model. So API key is nothing but a special key where you will be able to use only your Gemini model here. Okay, so that any random model you are not taking and nobody else is able to your Gemini model. Okay, so over here you can click on this get started. Once you click on the get started, you can click on this get started, Google AI Studio. You can search for Google AI Studio. Search for Google AI Studio. Okay. So over here, you will be able to see an option called as Get API Key, right? Get API Key, click on that. Now you can create a API key here. Create API key, okay? There is an option called as Create API Key, right? Click on that, Create API Key. And then select any, if at all it asks for a project, select it. I have created it, that's why I have it. So it may not ask you for the project, right? So you can select one certain project and it will show you the API key. You can copy that API key. Okay, you can copy that API key. Over here, create API key in existing project. Click on that, it will generate one long text. Copy that. Yeah. Yeah. Once you copy that, right, you can go back to your n8n canvas, right, where you have selected your Google Gemini chat model, right? So the Google Gemini chat model, you have to select it over here. Under the model part of your text classifier, select Google Gemini chat model. Google Gemini chat model. Once you select this chat model, right? Once you select this 13 chat model, Sweta, what you can do is, you could see one option called as execute workflow, right? There is a box over here beside the execute workflow. Click on that. Yeah. So in the Google Gemini chat model, once again, you have to set the credential here. So click on this credential to connect with. Click on create new credential, right? Click on create the new credential. Click on create new credential. Give that API key over here. Paste that API key. Okay. And save it. You can rename it as well if you want that credential. But that's fine. You can save it. Okay. Once you save it, that should be appearing here. Okay. In this way, it will appear once you save it. And automatically or by default, there is one latest model that is set in this. Okay. The latest model is set over here. So that's it. You just have to give the credential. There's no other changes that you have to do when it comes to your Google Gemini chat model. Yeah. So we have set the brain to the text classifier. Now you can execute this text classifier. You could see a play button, right? So execute this text classifier. Now the email information, what is there in the Gmail trigger, it is being classified as personal. You could see it is being classified as personal, right? I hope everyone is able to do it. Yeah. So now, if I just go and look into my email over here, right? So there's nothing that is visible. Even the message that I got, this message, there is nothing I could see personal over here. That is, I did not add a label to it. Now we will add one more step in our workflow to add a label to these Gmails, right? So once the information is in this personal node, so let me click on the plus button over here. Let me click on the plus button, right? Now I will select the option called as action in an app. Now adding a label needs to be done in the Gmail account, right? In that interface. So that is why we will select the option called as action in an app. Now in the action in an app, I will once again search for Gmail. Once again search for Gmail. Okay. Yeah. So let me select this Gmail, right? And then let me select option called as add label to message. Add label to message. Okay. Add label to message. Now you could see automatically it has taken my Gmail. You don't have to set it once again, right? Automatically it understood that I'll be using this particular Gmail. You don't have to do anything here. Okay. The next information that you need to give is the message ID. Message ID. Now, in the input space, if you could see, you have a Gmail trigger node and a text classifier node, correct? Two nodes are there, right? So out of these two nodes, let me select Gmail trigger, drag and drop ID to the message ID section. Drag and drop ID to the message ID section. Yes, drag and drop ID to the message ID section. Next, see over here, you don't have to write the code. By default, it understands that particular code over here. Next, let me select. So I have added this node in the output of personal branch, right? So over here, it's a personal branch to which I have added this add label node, correct? So the category would be, or the label would be the personal. I can just search for it. So this is the label that I have it in my Gmail. Yes? Okay. Now, once this is done, so let me, if I execute it, see, this certain message is being labeled now. You will click on the option called as execute the step. So that particular email is being labeled now. And if you just go back to your Gmail and just see that particular email is being labeled or not, you could see that particular email is being labeled now, right? And it is also there under the personal label, that email, right? So this is something with respect to adding the label to your emails. Now, I have to do the similar task with the meeting and ignore label, right? So instead of doing this entire, I can just simply duplicate this. There is an option to duplicate this particular node. So I will certainly click on that duplicate node. Once again, let me duplicate it, right? So let me just duplicate this node and build the connection over here. And build the connection here. Just drag it. Drag that plus symbol. And attach it. Right? Duplicate it and attach it to the meeting and the ignore node. Yes. Now over here, once this is done, once we have duplicated and attached it, now you remember it is still in the personal itself, right? The label is in the personal itself, but we have attached to the meeting one. So we need to change this label over here. Now the label would be meeting here. ID will remain the same. Message ID will remain the same. Just the label will differ. Just the label will differ. So this will be the meeting and the third one will be the ignore. The third one will be the ignore. Right? This is done. Now, we will do a certain task over here. One more task. I know the message I got is a personal message. I don't have time to reply to that message. Now, the first thing I will be generating a reply to that message. Second thing, I'll be sending that reply as well. These two things we will see now. Okay. From the personal node, if you could see, we have added the label. From there, let me add one more node over here. The next node will be to generate the reply. Now, who will generate the reply? That is our AI. AI will generate the reply. So, you could see a AI option here, right? So, let me click on the AI option and then let me take this Google Gemini. Let me take this Google Gemini. Either you can go this way or you can just search for Google Gemini, right? In the Google Gemini, I will be taking something called as messenger model, right? From the personal node, we will be doing this task. Okay, let me select this messenger model. Messenger model. Once we do this messenger model, automatically once again your same credential will be taken. If not, just click on this drop down and select the previous credential. That's it. You don't have to do anything here. Okay. Select that previous credential. Okay. And then over here, it will ask you to select the model now. Okay. Previously, automatically it had taken. Now you have to select it. So over here, you could select this 2.5 flash or any other model as per your interest. 2.5 flash works in a better manner. Okay. Now we need to give something called as prompt, right? I hope everyone must have used ChatGPT, Gemini, or any other GenAI tool, right? Over there, we give some information, some instruction that we call it as prompt, right? The same prompt we have to give over here as well. Ultimately, your Gemini model needs to understand what it has to do, right? So, the prompt will be over here. You are you are a personal assistant. You are a personal assistant replying to emails in a casual but professional tone. But professional tone. Professional tone, right? And always base your reply strictly on the user's email content. You're just specifying what it has to do. Okay? Email content. Do not guess. Okay? Ultimately, it should not hallucinate or something, right? So that's why we are saying do not guess or assume. Okay? Or assume. Mirror the context. That is either it is regarding catch up or is it about certain reunion. Is it about feedback? Is it about a document? Whatever it is, document request, etc. Okay, etc. And we'll add one more thing, that is address the reply that you will generate, right? Uh, that part, no. Which one? Yeah, over here. Okay. Address the sender by the name. And then it would be no need to add the signature. Since it will be a informal message, I don't want to add any signature here. Okay, by default, we would have set certain signatures, right? I don't want to add here. Yeah, I hope everyone have written the prompt. So next, go for let us go forward over here. Yeah. So once the prompt is given, right? Once the prompt is given, the role we will set as model. Ultimately, model has to do this, right? So the role we will set as model here. And then comes add message. One more information that we need to give over here. Okay. That is, if you could remember, in the Gmail trigger node, we had the text information. Now, ultimately, to that text information, your Gemini model needs to generate the response, right? So, we need to refer it, correct? So, that reference we will do here. So, once again, I'll search for the text over here, the text, drag and drop that text under the prompt. Drag and drop the text under the prompt from the Gmail trigger node. From the Gmail trigger node. And the role will be the user. That is, if the user's information is this certain text, then your model has to execute or get this response based on the prompt that we have given. Based on the prompt that we have given over here. Once this is done, right? Let me execute the step here. Let me execute the step. You could see the output. It has generated certain response. Hi Spurti, I'm doing well. Thanks. It really has been a while. Catching up tonight sounds great. Let me know what time works best for you. Isn't it a good response that we have generated? Right? Yeah. So the response we have generated. Now, based on this response, we will send a reply. We will send a reply. That would be the next node. Next node will be, again, it will be an action in an app. From your Gmail account, this response has to go. Correct? So that is why, once again, we will select action in an app. Action in an app. And over here, we will select something called as Gmail once again. From the Gmail, you have to respond to the email that you have received. Right? So let me select this Gmail. Let me select Gmail. Okay. And in that Gmail, let me select this reply to a message. Reply to a message. Ultimately, I have to send the response that generated as a reply. So let me select this reply to a message. Reply to a message. Done. Did everyone select it? Everyone is able to select. So again, you don't have to create the credential once again. Previous credential itself, you can use it over here, right? Previous credential itself, I can use it. Now, over here, in the space of message ID, right? Other things, we will keep it as it is. No need to change. Okay? Resource will be the message. Operation will be the reply, right? The message ID. Now, the message ID, I will select it from the Gmail trigger. Once again, in your left hand side, you could see output from the different nodes, right? From there, let me select thread ID now. Now, what is the difference between the thread ID and the message ID? Message ID will remain constant for one particular email and its following thread emails as well, right? But the thread ID will differ for the following emails that we will get in the same email or the same thread. We follow one certain thread, right, in an email. So the thread ID will differ. So I need to respond to the recent message that I received, correct? In that similar thread probably. So that is why I will select the thread ID here. That is why I will select the thread ID here. Yeah. Okay. So once I select this thread ID, next is the email type is the HTML. Let it be as it is. Message. Now where did we generated the message? It is in the messenger model, right? So let us just drag and drop this once again under the message. The text. Only the text we will be dragging and dropping it over here. Drag and drop the message, the text under the message over here. Okay. And if I just execute this, once I drag and drop it, the thread ID and the message from the model. So let me just execute the step here. See, you will get the output as it is sent. You will get the output as it is sent. Okay. Now, if I just go back and cross verify in my email, see, this is the email that I received. Now, the response I've sent is, I'm doing well, thanks. It really has been a while. Catching up tonight sounds great. Let me know what time works best for you. We have sent, right? But this is something that we did step by step over here. So the one main thing over here that we need to remember is every time we build a workflow in n8n, right, even though it is hosted over the cloud, we need to save the entire workflow. Otherwise, if you just close a certain tab, everything will be vanished. Nothing will be saved automatically here. Okay, still nothing will be saved automatically here. So that is when you need to save it. Okay, you need to save it. And there is one more option called as inactive here. Now, if you turn it on, in the background, it will keep on working. Workflow activated. Now, again and again, I don't have to come and enter the play button here. Right? Whenever a new email comes into the picture, it will work on its own. Work on its own. The first thing what it will do is categorize the emails, label it, and then it will generate a response. If the email is personal, it will generate a response and then the email will be sent and an email will be sent over here. Okay. And just to execute this entire workflow at once, you can select this execute workflow option here. Okay, there is one more option, execute workflow. It will end to end, it will execute the entire workflow. Okay, so this is something with respect to the first phase, that is labeling and generating the email, response to a certain email. I hope everyone is able to do it. Over here, the next step would be setting a calendar invite, scheduling an event in your Google Calendar. Correct? So far, we have seen just labeling it and generating a response and replying it. Now, we will see if somebody is asking to schedule a meeting on a certain date, mentioning certain time as well, then how can we do it? We will see that now. Okay. So over here, now let me change my, or let me send one more new email. Okay, one more new email let me send. That is to, again, the same mail ID. Okay, subject would be regarding a meeting. Let me keep it as simple here. Okay. Okay. Let's connect tomorrow, let's connect tomorrow, or let me specify the name, 21st September. Let's connect on 21st September at 4 p.m. At 4 p.m. Okay. This is the information that I'll be sending. I want to connect with that person. Okay. Let's connect on 21st September at 4 p.m. Or you can write schedule a meeting on 21st September. That also you can write schedule a meeting on 21st September at 4 p.m. This is also fine. Okay. Just let me send this. Let me send this to that particular email. Okay. Let me just turn it off for now because we are building the workflow. Yeah. So now let me execute the workflow. Let me hit on this execute the workflow. It will fetch the latest event, latest email. Now the text classifier classified it as a meeting here. You could see it has classified it as a meeting. The email was regarding the meeting, correct? So it has classified it as a meeting. Now I have a information on the meeting. So my next step would be, I'll be selecting over here something called as OpenAI. OpenAI. And once again, I'll be selecting something called as Messenger model. Now to use a OpenAI, so over here we will be seeing two models. One is Gemini that we have already seen. Now the second one is the OpenAI. Now to use the OpenAI, you need to have a API key, right? And for that API key, probably you might have to spend certain amount, right? So this is just the variance that we want to show. You can use the Gemini over here as well. Okay. So this is a one more type of AI model that we can use here. Okay. So I have a OpenAI account. Okay. I have a API key and I've set it over here in the old similar manner. You just have to give your credentials and then save it. Okay. And then save it. Now over here, I'll be selecting one certain model. That is, let me select 4.1 mini, GPT 4.1 mini. Now again, I have to give a prompt here, right? Now what this prompt would be based on? The meeting, the email that I've got, right? From that email, I want to fetch the date, time information particularly. I want to fetch these information from that email. Now I know I have to schedule a meeting, but I need to these two information particularly. Okay. So that is when I have this prompt with me, right? I have this prompt, quite a big prompt over here, but you can generate this prompt with the help of the ChatGPT itself. Okay. You just have to ask it that you want to extract meeting time and date over here. Okay. Now this is a prompt, that is you are extracting meeting details from an email. Reference date would be the date from the Gmail trigger. Okay. Time zone is this. If the email gives a month or day without a year, pick the next future occurrence. Okay. And if a year is explicitly stated, use it. Okay. In the email, if you could see, I did not mention about the year, right? Certain times what happens? It will by itself, it will assume certain year. So we are just being very clear which year it has to assume here. Okay. If only weekday is given, choose the next upcoming weekday. Okay. Which has passed, right? Extract the meeting information if mentioned. Time also if it is mentioned, then we will schedule the meeting only for that particular time. Okay. And then return it in minutes as a number. If no duration is mentioned, return duration as null over here. Okay. So all these informations I want to extract from the email. Okay. And this will be my reference to the email. the code, here it is written in the code. You can just do drag and drop over here. The text can be dragged and dropped over here. Okay. In the place of email, you can just drag and drop the text. Okay. Now it will be kept as a user over here. The information will be kept as a user over here. Now let me execute the step and see whether am I able to extract the required information or not. Yes. You could see the role is assistant. It has extracted the date from the email. It has extracted the time as well. The 4 p.m. I had mentioned, right? So it has extracted the time. I did not mention about the duration. So there is no idea on the duration. It kept as null. And the time zone it is kept as Asia Calcutta. Okay. So this information is being fetched from your OpenAI model. OpenAI model. Now, once this particular information is being fetched, now still it is not clear, right? Still it is in a quite clumsier manner, correct? Now, I will use one more node over here. That is code node. As I mentioned while beginning with the n8n, we have a flexibility here. I can go with the no code or I can use even the code. Okay. Now to use the code, I can simply search for code in the node or the wherever we extract this node information, right? So I can search for node. So this is the code node. This is the place where I can take the code, over here. Now the code, once again, I have a code with me. Okay. So you can either, over here, there's a ask AI option, correct? You can ask it, you can refine it once again by looking into the output, whether the output is your required one or not. Okay. Or else you can take it directly from the any GenAI models, tools, ChatGPT, Gemini, anything over here. So let me take the code which I have with me. Because we are just short of time, that's why I'll just showcase this to you. So this is the code that I have. Let me execute the step here. You could see it has the same content is here, but at the same time, I have a particular start date time and end date time. Previous node, I didn't had this output, right? So it will extract the particular start date time and end date time. Okay. So once this is being extracted here, now the next step would be, I have the date and time, correct? Now the next step would be, I want to see in my Google Calendar, is there any other meeting that is scheduled in that time or not? Okay. If I'm free in that time, only then I'll schedule the meeting. Otherwise, why should I schedule the meeting, correct? So that is why, once again, we will select something called as Google Calendar. Now we will look into the Google Calendar here. Okay. In the Google Calendar, we will select an option called as Get Many Events. Get Many Events. Okay, Get Many Events. So over here, I'll just select my Google Calendar. This is my Google Calendar here. Or I can just build the connection as well. Click on Create New Credential. Sign in with the Google. Okay, select the account. Give the permission and connect to your Google Calendar. Okay, I have already given the access. That's why that message appears. Okay. Yeah. Now I have selected the Google Calendar. So let me select the calendar. Over this is the email ID that I need to select here. Okay. And over here, after and before. So what is that time period where I need to check for the meetings? Remember, we have taken start date time and end date time. So that is that period where I need to check in my calendar whether is there already a meeting that is scheduled or not. A meeting that is scheduled or not. So from the code node, I have the start date time and end date time, correct? So let me just drag and drop it over here. After will be the start date time and before will be the end date time. End date and time. End date and time. Okay? End date and time over here. And now one more few options that I need to add over here. The one is order by. Whatever the meetings that are scheduled in that particular time period, right? I need to order them based on the start time. Based on the start time, I want to order them. I don't want to keep it clumsy. Okay? I want to order it. The next would be the recurring event handling. I want to extract all the events. If even the multiple events are there in one particular time slot, I want to extract that as well. All the information I want to extract it. And then the time zone, you can select the certain time zone here. For me, I'll select Asia, Calcutta, Kolkata, anyone you can select. Okay. So this is the information that I've given to my calendar. Now it will fetch in this particular time period. Is there any meeting or not? You could see, yes, I do have a meeting in that period. I do have a meeting in that period. See, if there is no output that appears in your output space, that means you are free in that particular time. But in my case, I have a meeting, correct? So now what should I do? I have a meeting. Yes. Now I will generate one reply or just send one reply where I will say, I have a meeting in that particular time. Can we schedule this meeting in some other time? Just one reply message. So I will add one if node over here. Okay. If node over here. Now this was the case when I know that there is a meeting, correct? Now there will be cases when I won't have a meeting. So there is a classifier node here. I have a meeting or no. Okay. So in the if node, if I have a get meetings, if I have a ID from the get many events and this ID, if this ID is not empty, this ID is not empty. Yeah. If this ID is not empty, sorry. Yeah, string. If this ID is not empty, correct? That means I have a meeting in that particular time period, correct? Then, if that is the case, and there is one more thing, in the get many events, under the settings, you have to set it always output data, right? If I don't have a meeting, it will not generate any output, right? So I want to keep it as always output data, okay? Yeah. So let me just run this once again. Okay. So yes, so let me execute this if node. You could see my output is in the true branch, true or the false branch. These two branches I will be having, right? So let me sell, the output is in the true branch now. True branch in the sense, I have a meeting now, right? I have a event that is scheduled in that time period. So let me take a action in an app, Gmail, and then reply to a message. I want to reply to that request message that I have a meeting in that particular time. So once again, let me take the same thread ID here, drag and drop the thread ID, right? I'll just drop a message that, hello, I have a meeting scheduled. I have a meeting scheduled in that time. Can we schedule it for some other time. Okay, just a message that you want to send. Okay, and then let me execute the step. Now it is sent. Now if I see over here in my Gmail account or the account from where I had sent the email, right? See, this was the request that I had sent. I got a reply. Hello, I have a meeting scheduled in that time. Can we schedule it for some other time? Right? Now, if I don't have a meeting, then what should I do? If I don't have a meeting, for example, let us take one more, let me write one more email here to regarding a meeting. Okay. Okay. Let's schedule a meeting on 22nd September. Just check, do I have anything that is scheduled for that day or not? No. Or 21st, let it be. 21st September, 6 p.m. Okay, 6 p.m. The time I have mentioned, I have also mentioned the date here. Let me send this. Okay, let me go back to the workflow. Right? Let me execute this workflow. Once I execute it, you could see automatically each and every step is happening. And now you could see from the if node, it is in the false. Now, what does that mean? I don't have a meeting in that particular time period. Correct? If I don't have a particular meeting in that time period, I will create an event in the Google Calendar. I will schedule that meeting. So let me select Google Calendar. Google Calendar here. Google Calendar. And then let me create an event. In the Google Calendar, let me create an event. So I need to select my Google Calendar here, right? And the calendar would be my email ID over here. And the start and end is there. Now I have mentioned the start, the time I have mentioned, right? So that time is being extracted in the code node, correct? In the code node, the time is being extracted. Start date time and end date time, correct? So let me take that information here. Drag and drop, start date time and end date time as well. End date time. Okay. Now I need to add certain fields. There must be some attendees, right, to that meeting, the schedule that I've made. So the attendees would be the people who have sent me the mail. So from the Gmail trigger, I will select the from. From will have the information who have sent me the email, correct? I will just drag and drop this from. So this person should attend that meeting. Okay. Now, one more field is conference data. That is, along with the scheduling of the event, I want to add a Google Meet link as well. Google Meet link as well. That I can add it here, right? And one more thing that we want to add over here is summary, right? There should be a name to this meeting, right? Now that name, for now, I can take the subject. I can take the subject as a event's name. Okay. And then let me just execute this step. It has created a meeting. If I just go back and check, just see 6 p.m. 21st, there is a meeting. right? So this is how we schedule a meeting with the help of n8n. So first, we try to classify the email. Then we generated a response to the email if it was a personal, and then send that email. The second phase was, if the email was a meeting, then we have extracted the date and time from that email, right? We checked that am I free in that particular time slot or not. If I was free, then I created an event. If I was not free, then I will send a reply message to the sender. Okay. So this is how we automate an email that is being sent to us, right? Yeah. So yes. So this is it from my side. Yeah, I have the PPT. You want this? Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So, thank you for your time today, and I believe it was a great learning session for all of us. Now, my name is Diptangshu Banerjee, and I am heading the sales and marketing for our company 360DigiTMG. And I hold executive certification from IIM Lucknow. Now, to start with, I will take you through a little presentation slides on so in the last 60 minutes plus time, you have seen a lot of things, right? So why AI skill is multiply your output. Then, so AI is not going to replace you. NVIDIA CEO actually mentioned that AI is not going to replace your job, but if you don't know AI, then it will be a very difficult for you to remain in the job market. So AI is something that we definitely need to understand right now. We learned about real GenAI workflows, which you can also apply in your real life. Clear path to project certificates and interviews. Now, AI is everywhere, right? In daily life, if I'm talking about like, if we go back 2, 3 years back, we are just listening about AI and all those things. We got to know, I believe everyone now you are using ChatGPT or Perplexity or Google Gemini and all these apps nowadays to draft message or anything. You are sending any email or anything that we are using AI. So AI is used in analytics, data cleanup, as we can see, then products, user stories, test cases, everywhere AI is everywhere. Coding, people also using AI tools to do codings. In different organization, people are asking basically to take help from AI so that the error happens a less. Then documentation, minutes, proposal, PPTs, drafting, everything. We have different AI tools for doing all this AI stuff. Like for students, AI is used to create your resumes also. Project, vivas, preparation. So you're applying for jobs, you have the JDs, you can upload those JDs in different AI tools like ChatGPT and all. And they can give you some output, like what kind of questions can be asked based on the JD. So that is something very essential for students, even for working professionals. So if you're planning to shift from this company to another company or promotions on anything, so you have the JD, you upload the JD in different AI tools, and they can give you. True, that it is not going to be exactly 100% match, but at least you can have an overview that what questions can be asked based on that. Sales, if you are into sales, AI is definitely going to help in lot of ways, that creating your marketing emails, your follow-up emails, everything. So even we send like infographics. You see in lot of ads, there are infographics, there are beautiful pictures in those. All are like AI built. And you will be surprised to understand that most of these things are not actually real. Those are all created by AIs. Even the human face and everything, nowadays AI is creating. HR, if I'm talking about HR role, uh, training resumes, draft JDs, everything is done through AI. Now just imagine if you Naukri, I think everyone is using Naukri for job searching, right? Now, if you see, you will find that there are hundreds or thousands of applications is already been made through a certain or particular job. You are also applying, I am also applying that as you. Now, it is going to be an inhuman task for an HR to understand which CV to select. Going through thousands of CVs, it's become very difficult. So AI is used in HR. Also, they use tools to upload the resumes and they shortlist from there. Support, instant chat support, you have definitely seen in different banking sectors and all that how the chat supports are working, right? In HDFC Bank, if you are using, you will see that there are certain chat support mechanism is already there. In Amazon, everywhere we have this kind of support system. Operations, definitely. Creating report summaries and everything. Our AI is helping a lot. Marketing, ad copies, creativities, content, everything nowadays AI. But yes, don't get worried that if everything AI is doing, then we will lose our job. No, that's not true. If you know how to use AI, you will be able to continue with your job and everything without any failure. Now, your outcome and the roadmap, what we are going to do now. So first thing is learn the basic. Next, learn the tools. That is very much important. Work in the projects and then get placed. Now, working in the project is very much essential in nowadays for any companies to hire someone. Freshers also need some kind of work experience as well. Now, I'm talking about work experience, like in your college days, you might have definitely gone through or done some projects, right? Those are all, I will say, like capstone project, or which is not going to impact any other companies. If you do any wrong or error, there is nothing as such on those projects. But it is very essential nowadays to work on real life projects and to get some experience on those projects before or while you are applying for jobs. Now, there is a proof that it works. We will share some links with you as well, some YouTube links that we have where you can see our past participants, how they succeeded, how their life stories and all that we will be sharing with you. Now, 360DigiTMG is the only edtech company, I will say, that have an own AI consulting wing. So when we started, you might have definitely heard about the AiSPRY. Our CEO, Mr. Barney, mentioned about the AiSPRY. So that is our AI consulting wing, and through which we are actually doing a lot of projects like in HP, projects in Indian Railways, and many more we are actually conducting. And students from our side, they actually work on all those projects. So from day one, we provide the kind of practical trainings are being given. Definitely, there are some certain pros and cons, some rules are there that we have to follow. So we first train you, then we take you through in-house projects or capstone projects. Then once everything is done, then we take you to the real world project. Because when I'm talking about real world projects, anything goes wrong, it impacts AiSPRY's reputation and also the clients to whom we are delivering. So before we take you to that level, we do all the trainings and everything in-house, and then we move you to that real life projects part. Now, what we have seen, there are few common questions people ask that I am not from a computer science background, I am not an engineering background. Is it for me, this course? We start the course with a fundamental and with a pace that you can understand. Yes, today's event, maybe we are learning for the first time. You might have faced a little difficulty to understand, but when we do classroom sessions and all, we start from the basic, from the scratch, so that you understand what is happening. So it is not that you have to be from an engineering background or computer science background, anything is fine. We also receive complaints that, okay, I don't have time. So we take care of that issues. We have flexible batch timings. We have recorded session as well. We have like even if you are not able to attend physical classrooms, we also provide the recorded sessions where you can do totally 100% online. Also, you can go ahead and do the courses. Placement guarantee. Now, as per Indian government also, no one can give you a placement guarantee. But yes, we provide placement support. Will be providing you 100% placement support. We have a team, dedicated team working. We have our own website where we publish jobs. It's not just Naukri. Naukri is for thousands, millions of people around the globe. But this is specifically for our own students. We have our own job portal where we upload jobs and our students can go ahead and apply for the jobs from there. Now, talking about the fees, we have different things in the fees. So we have scholarship options, we have EMI options, and also as we are here today in this session. So we are conducting this session in 3 different locations physically. One is in Hyderabad, another office in Chennai, and here in Bangalore. And few of our students also joined online. So we have a special discount scheme for today as well. Now, real projects, as I mentioned that we are the only company in India, I will say at least, that who is offering a real project experience working in a real project. And you will also be getting an experience certificate from us on that. after the course, now everyone is like, what happens after the course? Many you will find there are many companies who are providing data science or data analytics or GenAI related courses. And there is no answer for that, what is after the course, but we provide end-to-end support. We will be our team, we have our career counselor team, they will help you to create or develop your LinkedIn profiles. Nowadays, LinkedIn is a very much essential thing, right, for job search. So we will be helping, our team will be helping. Then we get referrals. We will be taking your mock interview. So you will be interview ready as well when you go ahead in the market for the real interviews. Now, eligibility and policy. So we are very much transparent on this part. We want your participation as well. So we can say a lot of things, but yes, definitely you are the person who is going to perform at the end, right? You are going to appear for the interview. So you have to learn. So what we have seen that students having more than 80% attendance and assignments completed and appears for the mock interviews and all, they have a huge success rate. So that is that kind of dedication we definitely need from your side. And you will definitely get the job then. We have certification after module-wise exams. So we do not believe in hidden terms or clauses. So we believe in clarity. We say upfront what is there and what is not included in this part. Extra benefits we have if you have referral. Now, if you refer, you also get a benefit, and the person you are also referring also can get a benefit out of the course fees. You can adjust with the course fees as well. Now, if you have like friends who wants to attend, if you have like 3+ groups of people joining, so you can get an extra benefit of 5% discount on that course fee. If required, there are many times that when corporate people comes to our program, join our program, they need reimbursement letters for their corporate reimbursement. That also we can provide. So we have our career counselors present, and people who are actually attending, few people who are actually attending online. So our career counselor also will get in touch with you to understand your requirement. Now, career counselor's task will be to understand your requirement and suggest what actually fits you. Which course, if it is a GenAI or if it is going to be a data science, data engineering, or data analytics, whichever course fits your profile, they will guide you and they will take you through that. Then the next step is fill the enrollment form, and we provide LMS access, which is a learning management system access. You will be getting, all our students get that learning management system access, through which all this study happens. When I'm saying study, means all the recorded sessions, all the things get uploads, all the questions, exams gets uploaded in the LMS system, and through which you can access, you can go through those courses, and you can learn from that anytime, anywhere. So it's not that it is like only when the time morning 8 to a.m. or whatever. So it is available for you 24/7. Now, I believe you will be definitely be having some questions. So feel free to ask on the chat box, people who are joining online, and here who are attending today's session. Our career counselor members are already here. So if you have any doubts or anything that you would like to understand about the course and all those things, just feel free to ask them. So they will come. And in between, we'll also create the certificates for you. We'll just write down your names and we will share those certificate with you. Now, for those attending to this session, we have a special bonus toolkit also we are offering, and that is only limited to first 25 enrollments who is doing today. And this is not specific for any particular location. This is open for everyone. So all the 3 locations, including the online, this bonus toolkit is available. So thank you very much for attending our session today, and we are looking for your questions. So yeah, let me mute myself.